Welcome back to Modular Madness. We have an interesting matchup today. The number 6 seed, Assembly Square, is taking on the 11th seed, Petshop. We're going to hand things over to Autumn to see what she thinks first.
I think that the Petshop, the blue building looks kind of blockish. Brown building. I love gardens, and there's a lot of gardens. There's like 3 gardens. 1 in the back, 1 and 2 in the front. 1 is just like a window thing, but 1 is under windows on the ground. I also really like the mailbox. The front of the brown building looks really nice, especially with the door. And apparently it's supposed to be a house that somebody's moving into. There's a room with like paint that somebody's painting it, and then there's a room with unpacked boxes. It makes me think of 2 different sets instead of 1 same set. I don't really think that's good. Like in the bookshop, there's 2 different buildings that come apart too. And I think they should put it on 1 plate instead of 2. On Assembly Square, at the coffee shop, there's like a cup and then steam. And there's like little yellow things, kind of like the sun, like in the morning. So I really like that. And then there's also the rose is on the flower shop. One thing I don't really like about the flower shop is there's a parrot in it. And it's not for buying, I don't think, because it's supposed to be a flower shop. So I don't really know why that's there. The bakery, there's a little cake in there in the window, and the window is really nice. How they use like the garage things. The cake there's the bride and the groom that are there, and for the wedding cake, the people on top, 1 is white, yellow, white, and the other is black, yellow, brown, so it's like the bride and the groom. The bakery also has the nice curve. The fountain's nice, and the whole set looks really nice. Mommy, what do you think?
All right, let's take a look at the pet shop real quick here. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. The pet shop itself has kind of a French design, which is nice. I really like the fish tank on the first level with the pet shop, and I just think that a pet shop is a fun shop concept, so I like that. I think the 2-story apartment above it is nice. The house that's next to it, I am not so impressed with. The upper floors are bare. I feel like the moving in concept is just a poor excuse for not having much in the interior. I do like the phone and the toilet. I think those are kind of nice little details. But I think that the color scheme is ugly, and I don't think it's attractive. So let's move on over to Assembly Square. Can I say, wow, curb appeal here. I want to go hang out in that plaza. It's got a beautiful fountain. The shops all look really inviting and are arranged nicely on the base plates. It is a large set. It's a 48 wide, so we've got a lot more space to work with than our typical modular, which does give us a lot more flexibility with this. They use the space really well, though. First of all, the icons on each shop are great. We've got the pretzel on the bakery. We've got, as Autumn mentioned, the steaming coffee cup on the cafe, and those beautiful tulips on the florist shop, which is my favorite. Looking at the top, we have an amazing outdoor grill on one of the buildings. Inside, we've got clever Lego playroom. We've got a cool old camera with a backdrop. The dentist office, I think, is done really well. I think it's got a good balance of having a lot of detail but not making it too cramped, so I like that. Going back to the bakery, they've got a nice cake display case and lots of cakes. I love cake. Cake's my favorite. So having lots of cakes sounds good to me. There's a really nice dance studio that has a mirror and a piano, and if you have watched our intro video, you might know that I love the piano, so of course that appeals to me as well. And then the music shop, there's not a whole lot to it, but I still really love the instruments, and being a musician myself, I like that a lot. The cafe itself, I feel like, is very cozy. There's a nice arch, there's a nice booth, there's pie and coffee, so it's all really nice. We haven't really been talking about the minifigs much, but this set comes with some great minifigs, including a baby and a ballerina. So overall, Assembly Square is just really fantastic, and there's really no comparison between it and the Pet Shop set. Kiara, what do you think?
On the Assembly Square, I like the tulips, I like the brickwork, I like the roof of the florist shop, and I like the fountain. And I also like how they make a white croissant in the bakery because of the Parisian restaurant, and I like the awnings on the cafe because they are supposed to match the cafe corner. And for the pet shop, I really like the pet shop because I like animals. And then the house, I don't really like. The actual pet shop is nice, and I like the bed in the 2-floor apartment, but otherwise, I don't really like it all that much. Daddy, what do you think?
This is a fun one, guys. I got to be honest with you. It's interesting that we have this comparison in the first round. You know, the Assembly Square is the 10th anniversary modular, and so in some ways it actually has a little bit of a tribute from a lot of the previous modulars, and that works really well for it. And unfortunately for the Pet Shop, it actually works really well against it, because the Pet Shop has 2 buildings. It's the first set to do that, and you can split them apart, which I kind of like. You can customize your layout. The Assembly Square comes with 3 buildings. It one-ups it. Then, as the others have noted, you know, the brownstone apartment, not that great, but one of the really cool techniques is the way that they use these quarter-round pieces at the bottom of the bay window. And it looks cool. But Assembly Square does the same thing on the bakery, and it looks cooler. It's like everything that the Pet Shop tries to do, the Assembly Square just kind of outdoes it. And that includes in the interiors, which we've noted before are plain in the brownstone. There's some nice stuff in the Pet Shop, but you know what? The bathroom is kind of cool, but it's, I think, honestly better in the bathroom that they have in the apartment in the upstairs of the bakery side. It's, again, just everything you can do, I can do better. And so I think that plus the variety of builds in the Assembly Square outdoes that in the Pet Shop. Honestly, the roof, I mean, all 3 roofs that we have for the Assembly Square outdo those on the Pet Shop and the brownstone, including using the black bucket digger pieces for the roof of the flower shop. Really, really creative use of pieces there. So, you know, I'm gonna go with Julie on this one. There's really not a very good comparison. I have a feeling I know where this is heading in terms of the vote, but we're going to start. Autumn, which one are you voting for?
Assembly Square.
Assembly Square for me as well.
Kiara?
Assembly Square.
I'm going to go with the No, just kidding. It's Assembly Square, y'all. It is another unanimous decision.
I kind of feel bad for the Pet Shop because the things it does, the Assembly Square does better.
I agree. And you know what? That means that the Assembly Square is moving on to the second round. But you know what? We're getting close to the second round, and I think the competition is going to step up another notch when we get there. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so you can see all the matchups as they come out. We hope you are enjoying our Modular Madness. And always remember to keep
building together. I'm hungry.